Insider describes SHEDEUR Sanders' domination of Panthers in one word. SHEDEUR Sanders tossed 2 touchdown passes in the game. The Carolina Panthers could, by and large, only watch as SHEDEUR Sanders put in one of the better preseason performances for a QB last week. The 4th stringer pushed into starting action, completed 14 passes for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns in a win over the Panthers, although much of the damage came against backups. Still, it was a performance that got everyone buzzing. Sure, the Panthers had a historically bad defense last year, but Sanders still made them look pretty bad a lot of the time. After, CBS Sports insider Cody Benjamin summed up the QB's embarrassment of Carolina in one word. SHEDEUR Sanders' performance against Panthers gets compliment. SHEDEUR Sanders wasn't perfect, but he was significantly better than anyone expected heading into the contest. He may not have moved up the QB depth chart, but he certainly did impress the NFL world. Benjamin described him as composed. He added, "The talk of the 2025 draft wasn't perfect as Cleveland's trial run starter, but he stood tall even on the move, keeping his eyes downfield and saving his tightest throws for the red zone." Sanders routinely threw into tight windows against Carolina's secondary. He also gave the pass rush some fits, often scrambling away or making them really work to try and bring him down. The sack Nick Skouerton recorded was a result of Sanders running all across the entire backfield before being forced out by a sprinting Skouerton 1 yard behind the line of scrimmage. All in all, it was a good outing for Sanders, but a bit of a disappointment for Carolina's defense. When the Cleveland Browns lined up against the Carolina Panthers in their preseason matchup, most people expected the night to be about evaluating depth charts, testing play calls, and seeing which rookies could handle the speed of the NFL. Instead, it became the SHEDEUR Sanders show. One word. It was after the game, deep in the bowels of the stadium, when a Browns insider was asked for his thoughts on the rookie quarterback's performance. He paused, thought for a moment, and then smiled. "Effortless," he said. "Not impressive, not encouraging, not even promising. Effortless." The word rolled off his tongue like a compliment and a warning. Because in the NFL, making it look easy is the rarest kind of magic. The opening drive. From the very first snap, Sanders looked like he belonged. The Panthers' defense came out in press coverage, clearly expecting to rattle the rookie early. On his second throw, Sanders stared down the barrel of a blitz and zipped a 15-yard strike to his tight end, splitting 2 defenders. The crowd's murmur turned into a buzz. The ball came out quick, sharp, and perfectly placed, no hesitation, no panic. A few plays later, he rolled right on a bootleg, kept his eyes downfield, and hit his receiver in stride for a 25-yard gain. It wasn't just the completion, it was the way Sanders moved, as if every step had already been scripted in his mind before the ball was snapped. Playing like he'd been there before. Veteran quarterbacks know how to manage chaos. They read defenses, adjust protections, and find the open man even as the pocket collapses. Sanders did all of that in his second preseason game. The Panthers tried disguising coverages. They sent delayed blitzes. They shifted safeties at the snap. Sanders didn't bite. Not once. On a 3rd and 8 early in the second quarter, Carolina dropped 7 into coverage and rushed 4. The pocket shrank, but Sanders slid left, reset his feet, and fired a dart over the middle to move the chains. The throw had velocity, touch, and the kind of precision that makes defensive coordinators wince in film study. The touchdown drive. The highlight of the night came on a drive that began on Cleveland's own 12-yard line. Sanders orchestrated it like a maestro conducting a symphony. Short passes to set the rhythm, a perfectly timed screen to keep the linebackers honest, and then the dagger. With the Panthers showing single high safety, Sanders checked into a go route on the right side. At the snap, he sold the play action, drew the safety in just enough, and lofted a 38-yard strike that landed like a feather into his receiver's hands in the corner of the end zone. The crowd roared. Sanders jogged to the sideline, without a fist pump or chest pound. Just a nod, as if to say, "Yeah, that's what I do." The insider's view. That's when the insider's effortless comment made sense. This wasn't the kind of domination built on wild scrambles and miracle throws. It was clinical. Sanders didn't force plays, he dictated them. He didn't just react to the defense, he made the defense react to him. He processes so fast, the insider added later. The game looks like it's already slowed down for him, and that's before he's even played a real regular season snap. Carolina's frustration. By the second half, The Panthers' sideline had the tight-lipped look of a group that had been outmaneuvered by someone who shouldn't have been this good, this soon. Their defensive coordinator threw everything in the playbook at Sanders: simulated pressure, rotated zones, disguised man coverage. But nothing stuck. On one third-quarter play, a corner blitz came screaming off the edge. Sanders didn't flinch. He dropped back, took a half-step forward, and floated a quick-release pass to his running back in the flat for a 12-yard gain. It wasn't flashy, but it was demoralizing for a defense banking on rattling a rookie into a mistake. Composure beyond his years. The most striking thing about Sanders' night wasn't a single throw. It was the complete absence of panic. NFL rookies, especially quarterbacks, tend to wear their nerves on their sleeves. You see it in their footwork, their timing, their body language after an incompletion. Sanders? He looked like he was running 7 on 7 in an empty practice field. Missed a throw? He jogged back to the huddle, eyes forward. Took a sack? He patted his lineman on the helmet and moved to the next play. That even-keeled demeanor seeped into the offense. By the third quarter, the huddle felt calm, confident, and in control. Numbers don't lie. By the time Sanders' night was over, the stat sheet told its own story. 16 completions on 20 attempts. 218 passing yards. 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. A passer rating that had Browns fans buzzing like it was 1987 again. But stats only told part of the tale. The true measure of domination was the fact that Carolina's defense, even in preseason mode, looked outmatched against a quarterback barely 2 months removed from college football. The ripple effect. The Browns' locker room was noticeably lighter after the game. Players joked, laughed, and dropped casual compliments about their rookie QB. Myles Garrett, usually reserved when it comes to praising young players, called Sanders steady and sharp. In a franchise that has churned through quarterbacks like a revolving door, that kind of early respect matters. It's the difference between a rookie feeling like he's renting the job and a rookie feeling like it's already his house.